Hello everyone, this video belongs to the series of the workshop videos, so this means this video might seem out of context in some places because there's no beginning explanation or anything. This is because this video belongs to the workshop, so there's a workshop in person where I explain everything, and then usually you continue your bag at home, and then this is the video you're gonna basically watch. So this is the video for the bags that have this clasp, and I'm gonna see, like, you're gonna see if it's gonna be like two-part videos or one-part video, one for like the rounded version and one for the squared version. And for the squared version there might be these two options where it's like flat, and this one where it's thicker, and for the round version where you have it kind of like spiky like this, and for the round version it's this one where you have like a bigger bottom. In the workshops you usually already decided which ones you want to do, because we're gonna like continue the sides and the bottom, especially how you want to do it. It's almost the same for everyone. There's like minor details that you're gonna do different, but this is basically the video for it. For the video I don't want to do like whole big bags to show you, so for the square one I'm just going to use a small square one, and for the round one I'm just going to use a round little one. I'm still going to show you how to do the beginning, because this is the most complicated part and I know many people forget it, and if they want to do the bag again you can just rewatch this part. So for the beginning you usually open it. It's the case for both. Just a quick reminder, if you have an even number of holes, you just go with the flow and just use every one of it. And if you have an uneven amount, you're just gonna skip 1 or 3. So it's always gonna be like at least 1 or 3 or 5 that you're gonna skip. If you want to skip with even numbers, like you don't have to, but if you want to skip a hole, you skip 2 holes at least. So imagine this is an even amount of numbers, so I would, if I want to skip 2 holes, you cannot skip 1 hole. If you want to skip 2 holes, you're going to skip 1 here and 1 here. If I want to skip 1 hole when it's like uneven, I'm usually going to skip 1 in the middle. That makes most sense. If I want to skip 3 holes, I just want to maybe skip 1 here, 1 here, and 1 in the middle. So for beginning, if you remember, you take your nylon and you're just going to take like 2 whole arm lengths, or like better said 4 arm lengths, because that's sometimes confusing in some workshops. I'm just going to take a bit shorter here to just demonstrate a little bit and not tangle up too much for the video. It's the same for both, and if you remember, the difference was you can do either rounds if you want to have like thicker version, and for the round version you can always go in round, it's just easier. And if you want to do this version where you have like the square that is flat, I recommend doing one side then the other and then join. So don't mix that up. In both cases you start the same way. So you're gonna take both endings, you can see it here, both endings of the nylon, and here you can see the 2 holes, and you're gonna go through the 2 holes. So it's like 1 here and the other one here. And then what I like to do is just hold it and then just pull it through so it doesn't tangle up too much. And if it tangles up, you can just like pull it here. Then you have it like this. You see it here? Yeah. And when you have it like this, the first bead is gonna be just a regular bead. It doesn't matter on which side you put it now, because it's gonna go through both beads anyways. So you take 1 bead, 1 nylon through, and then the other nylon, never go through the same side. This was the main rule. Go through this side, hold it, and then pull it. Then you have something like this. And then you're gonna take 3 beads on this side. I call this outside. I call this is the inside thread right now because it's showing to this part, and this is outside because it's showing here. So you're gonna take 3 beads on the outside, and you're just gonna let them fall. 1, 2, and the third one you're gonna hold. So don't let this one slide. You just hold it like this. See, here's the ending of the nylon, and I just hold it like this. Then you take the ending of the other thread and just go through it in the opposite direction, never in the same. Gonna pull it through. You hold both endings and then pull again. And then it looks something like this. See? Now you have basically, I'm just gonna open it and show it in the bag. What you have right now are those first 3 beads, you see? Not these. This is the first one we put in, and then these are the 3. So what we're gonna do is always add 1 bead, add it to the clasp, and then add the other 3 beads, and then add the other 2 beads basically. Then the third, then the next 2, third, and the next 2 here. That's what we're gonna do. You take the inside thread, so now you have the outside showing here and the inside thread here. You're gonna take 1 bead on the inside thread. This clasp has an uneven amount of numbers, so I'm just going to skip in the middle. I'm going to show you later what it means to skip. So here you have the 2 next holes. What you're going to do is you put the bead on this side of the nylon, right? So you're going to go through the second hole, not the first one that you have, the second. And then go back to the first. And then you pull it. Your thread might be tangled up a little bit at this point. Just, yeah, try not to pull everything too tight. Just detangle it, and then, yeah, for example, here it tangled, but it's no problem. We got this. So this is what you have basically. You pulled the bead through the first, and you pulled the bead through the inside thread. You pull the thread through the second hole, and then from the other side back through the first hole. With the first one, I don't mean the first hole of the clasp, but like the first for the next bead, because every bead basically gets 2 holes, like where you get like inside and then outside. And then with the thread that is coming outside, you go through the bead, and then just be careful. Don't go here inside the bead, go here. Basically, you have this outside hole, or like, let's call it inside hole, just like the thread, because it's showing to the clasp middle. And then you have this outside hole that's showing like into the outside. And you're going to go through the outside hole inside, just like you're outside and you're coming home, okay? Going like this, and then it should look like this. So the thread should come out like this, so it's showing to the inside, so the middle of the clasp, like this. And then you have it attached basically to the clasp. And then you're going to add the next 2 beads on this side of the thread. So take 1, let it through, and then the second. I'm going to hold this one, take the other side of the thread, and then just go through. Hold both ends, and then pull it through. And you have it like this. And then you just repeat it. And the only difference is, in the case where I skip it, I just ignore 1 bead in the middle. I'm going to show you that. Now we are in the middle, where I want to skip 1 bead. And this is super easy. So you're just going to take 1 bead again. Again, the inside thread. And then what we would do, you can see these 2 next holes would be the holes that we use. And instead of using these 2 holes, we're going to use this hole and this, and we're going to skip this in the middle. So we're going to act like this hole doesn't exist. This is what it means to skip it. So you're going to pull here, the thread through this hole, and then come back from the other side through this hole. So it's basically the same, we just ignored 1 hole. And then you're going inside the bead again like this to secure it to the clasp. Like this. And then you're just going to continue as before. And then once we are here, there are two options, like I said before. You can do one side, the other, and then join them, but it's super easy to just go in circles. I would just recommend to add one more row in the middle, but I'm going to show that again. We meet basically at this point again. Okay, now we reach the ending, and then we're going to continue here. So we could actually just go, that's my cat if you hear it. We could just continue with these two holes, but we're going to add one row in the middle. I'm going to show you what this means. So if you have this open bag, this is basically where we are. We had this bead and those two. Yeah, what's up? Oh, she's so cute. So we had this bead and we added those. And instead of continuing here, so basically I'm just going to put my thumb here. We are here. We added those. So these are the 4 beads that we have. And instead of continuing here, we're just going to add 3 beads, just like a regular row, and then continue here. So what that means is, instead of pulling 1 bead here and then joining on the clasp, we're just going to put 1 bead here on this inside thread, and then on the outside thread, we're going to take the 2 again. I'm going to hold the second one, and we're going to add the other bead on this side. So you're going to pull it through, you hold both endings, and then pull it through. So it looks like, this. See? So you just added 1 row in the middle. And then we're going to do the same, just what we did before. We take 1 bead here, put it on the clasp, basically add the 2, and then continue all the way here. And then here I'm gonna show you again how to join this side. Now we're at the end of this row, and now you just need to add 1 bead here and 1 bead here, and then you have like this additional row that we added here. So it's gonna be 1 bead on this side. What I usually do is I just put 1 bead on this side and then go through this bead. Then you're here, and then you're gonna add 1 bead here, because this way you're already up, and then you can just continue your rows. So it's 1 bead through both again, and then you're here. And then you can just continue your rows. So you choose one of these sides. It doesn't matter in this case if you go this way or this way, just what you prefer. You take 3 beads, 1, 2, and the third one you hold. I'm gonna take the other thread and then go through the other side. I just had to take a new bead because this one was just full of color inside. So, like this. Then you're here. And this is what you're going to do all the way. Just going to continue until you have your desired height. Usually in the workshop, you're going to end somewhere at this stage. So you're probably going to have like some height, and you're going to have to do all the rest yourself at home. And I just did this recap basically, so just you can redo it and rewatch it, and then I'm going to show you where you continue. So basically it looks like this, and you're going to continue all the way. You decide which height you want to have, but make sure this is, for example, for this bag, this is the height you want to have, and this is the bottom. So I'm talking about, if you want to have this height, you're going to stop, like you need to stop here basically, and then you're going to add the bottom later.